Welcome back, everybody. I would like to introduce, as always, Ben, who plays Ticto Keeper. David,
Hello.
who plays Fodor McNurgle. And Brian, who plays Edward, the Everflame Niven. Our last adventure, our trio boarded with Captain Clagan Seafarer, who offered to take them for a nominal bit of service to the next closest lightning rail station. To a shock to nobody, our adventurers decided to do a little bit of investigating and found out that Captain Seafarer is a little bit more than just a fisherman. Striking a deal to help him search for artifice of legend, our trio found that Captain Clagan is an airship captain who travels all over Eberron looking for high artifice. And they quickly agreed to work with him, and he introduced them to one of his business partners, a person named Navariel of Darkswamp, and is also the owner and operator of Rumple Bobskin's Unique Emporium. And now we welcome you to join us as on our quest to become Nerds of Legend.
Nice.
All right. You guys stand in this, like, as you are looking in and you see this giant room, this small-statured yet strangely intimidating man who has just introduced himself as Duvariel, but some people call him Bob, and that Ticto asked a pointed question of what had happened because he's noticing some weird stuff, and he's like, I've got a story to tell. So that's where we pick up.
Yes. So, what's your story?
It turns out a while ago, a couple of associates of mine were working with Asmodeus.
You know, for a name that I hadn't heard before, ever, that's come up a lot in the last couple of weeks.
It's actually come up a lot more. It's turning out to be a problem. Now, well, long story short, these guys were going to get some souls because, you know, devils, that's how they work. And they turned out to be an unconventionally entrepreneuring group of individuals, and themselves were able to rise to godhood, but inadvertently destroyed the pantheon of gods. And so now...
What gods? I only know of the three dragons.
There are gods of Eberron, of course, but they're more like ideas and concepts instead of people.
Thank you very much. No, that is incorrect. That is remarkably incorrect. There are gods, and there's real gods. There's everywhere. This one. So this is going to shock you. Your world, not the only world. There's lots of them. Lots of them. So I, myself, and then he like, as he says myself, he like, as he points, his like whole features kind of melt back from like the bearded, like shorter human in overalls to this like tall, stoic, pointed eared, like high-browed, very
Holy shit!
statuesque character. He's like, I myself am Nuverial of Darkswamp. I reside on the borderlands of the Feywild and the Shadowfell. And he goes, and I am a keeper of the chain. And then, and the same gesture, he pulls back down. He's like, yeah, so I'm what you call a archfey. He's like, that means I'm a I come from the Feywild or the Shadowfell. That's where my world is, in the middle of both, where they meet. You know what? It's not really that important. But I'm not from here.
I see.
He's like, So, well, here your gods are the three dragons. There's other places where there's an absolute fuck ton of gods. I mean, like, belief creates a god. And let me tell you, humans in Faerun and the material plane, they believe in fucking everything.
Until recently,
So,
it sounds like.
Yeah, well, what happened was some time stuff. That's why you're probably feeling it there.
Is that why I got a really bad migraine the other day?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you feel that when what happened was, chronologically speaking, this shit happened like last Friday. But they went back in time, reset it, came in, anchored in a new timeline, and now stuff's going backwards. So now people like myself, I'm a guardian of the chain. Now I don't know if you know of this, but what's happening is the gods that guarded this chain all put the links in all together to hold Ferris Dune together are starting to like disappear because the timeline is resetting itself backwards.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it works. Is when you hit it, the people who created the change cement the timeline, and then it goes backwards. So, long story short, what happened was some associates of mine somehow destroyed all belief in the other gods, and so they kind of faded to nothing.
And you knew that was their like plan the whole time, right?
No, I did not. Nor did I ask that many questions. I really just wanted to not. I mean, when you live forever, you get bored. And I wanted to come up with a different. I wanted to do something a little bit fun, and then this one, he convinced the dwarves that he was the god of naming, and they gave him like a whole shitload of this metal. He's like, that's how I built that ship back there. And you look in the back of the store, and there is a ship floating in like a dock that goes to nothing. It's like you're kind of shocked that you didn't see this. He's like, yeah, he goes, that's my Spelljammer ship. I made it with the. I didn't expect to, but hey, somebody dumps a small mountain of metal in your back, of Uru steel. You're gonna be like, I'm gonna use it.
Are Ticto's timey-wimey senses tingling right now?
Let me get a perception check from you.
Nevarian, let's just assume for a moment that I believe the things that you're saying, and that there's something, assumingly, that you want us to do. What exactly are you proposing?
I'm visibly confused.
Okay. He looks at you and he's like, let me get a persuasion check
13
from you, Edward.
For the perception.
Okay.
You got like a mild headache. Ticto's got like a mild headache because like you can feel the timelines moving around you, but like in the spot you're in, it's like stuck. Like it's permanently 2:30 where you're at, but you can feel like on the edge of it, like time moving in weird directions everywhere else. So like it's a little disorienting for you. It's like being in the eye of a storm.
Gotcha.
That is a 12 after my bonus.
So you're asking me, what do I want of you, huh?
It sounds like you have a task, or at the very least, some sort of plan in mind, so that things don't go too terribly for yourself, at least. What exactly is it that you're proposing?
It's not so much a plan. It's that you need to understand that with the changing of this timeline, any of you guys, well, obviously you don't know about any gods, anything like that, so you don't know the legends. But let me give you a quick refresher. There are gods and there are primordial gods. Okay? Like primordial gods are things of like the gods of day and the gods of night. Like sun, moon, that kind of shit. Well, there is actually a god of nothing. He's the god of the void, the god of oblivion. and he was the first god, and he's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's called. There's a million names, but like the one his actual name is Theris Dune, but they call him the Chained Oblivion. There's 6 chains throughout the entirety of reality that hold him chained, and the gods put guardians there. And like I think here we're supposed to have a giant.
We went to one. There's like
there's 2 of them. There's a giant celestial guardian, and then there's a giant like abyssal demon thing. Like
so there are supposed to be 2. I only saw one, and they all called me crazy.
I'm a fucking bitch. He's like, all right, well, that's what I mean. The timeline's resetting. So, like, now we've got, this was the one that was charged by Pelor and Asmodeus. Okay? Well, Pelor now is, like, basically a little glimmer in the eye of some happy hippie somewhere, as opposed to being, like, one of the major gods of Faerun, which is, but Asmodeus, I mean, he's live and kicking, so he's a powerhouse over there now. So his guy stayed, and the guy that was the work for Pelor disappeared. See, now the difference is we have 1 chain per each. We had 1 chain that's guarded by a denizen from a different realm, so that you can't just be like, well, fuck it, I'm fine. Like so we each got to keep everything fine. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta guard everything. We try to keep it unified. That's why we do it. But so you say that the one from Pelor disappeared?
Yeah. So we walked into the tower of the spire of earthly anchor, and there's a giant chain, and I saw 2 dudes. And then all of a sudden, I got a blinding headache, which is becoming a theme of late. And then all of a sudden, when I opened my eyes again, there was 1 dude. These guys don't remember it, and nobody else I talked to it does.
Hold on, stop talking. I got something that might help. He goes to the back and like. Did I just freeze out? My bad. Sorry.
No.
He goes to
David's there we go. You're back.
Yeah, he goes to the room.
Muted.
To like one of the rooms that he's in, and
hold on, I gotta get a hand.
Starts looking through his his like it looks like a junk shelf. Okay, like just piles of stuff, and he starts taking stuff and throwing it, looking at it, throwing it over his shoulder. It's weird because like. Everything he throws in the air, like, just kind of floats back, like, 2 feet, and then just stays there. So, in, like, a minute, he's, like, surrounded by this, orbiting, like, group of just junk. And he comes back, and he's got, like, this, like, bracelet. It's a little bracelet on it, but, it's, like, braided with like numbers all through it and like arrows and numbers and everything, and he tosses it to you. And
what's this?
Do you put it on?
Yes.
It's a bracelet.
I clap it on.
Okay, as soon as you put it
in my mind, it's a slap bracelet, and it just like
that's exactly what it is. It's like you touch it to your wrist, and it just kind of like of its own volition, like turns and like laces itself up and like magically seals into one thing. And as soon as you do it, like your head clears. He's like,
oh my god, I haven't been able to think straight in 3 weeks.
He's like, yeah, that's a presence of mind bracelet. It's specifically designed for people that live in multiple timelines. So, like, he puts his wrist up and he's got one on himself. He's like, his is a lot more elaborate.
Yeah, obviously.
He's like, this way, you're not going to get, like, you'll be able to discern one or the other as more like a wiping of a board as opposed to a splitting headache.
Yeah. In my
He's
mind,
like,
like
now-
when like all the magical energies look like a bunch of like wristwatches, like up my
That's it.
arm.
That's how you want to look at it. Like, cool. As soon as you do put it on, like all your little watches all like sync up.
Mhm.
You know, like all the
Oh
second
my
hand
God.
living in the universe. Yeah. But he's like, now mine, this one, and he puts it out. He shows it to you. He's like, this one, I can keep all of them separate with no problem. Like, and then he's like, I can see what you're talking about with just the one guy. He's like, but that's you're not ready for that one. But he's like, that'll help you keep yourself focused for a little bit. And then he snaps his finger and all that shit goes right back in the same pile. And he goes, so where were we? Okay, yeah, back to it. So the problem we're having now is with the removal of the gods and their subsequent guardians, you got things that just don't give a fuck that are now like, I think freeing this thing would be awesome.
Mhm.
I would be honest, that would not be awesome for anybody. This There don't exist for one purpose only, and that is to destroy everything. I mean, you don't get a name like Oblivion because you like to make shit. Like,
He's entropy incarnate.
yeah, you like big words, and I respect you for it. But yeah, so that's what's happening.
Sounds quite problematic.
So there was nothing like that guy that was guarding the chain was still like pretty into the idea of guarding the chain, right?
Oh yeah, he was super about it. He got really mad at me. But
Okay, cool, because I got the people up in my citadel also guarding their chain, and they're like, they understand their purpose, and since I'm not tied to the gods, I don't care. But Sigil is fucked. We got places. What you look like you don't understand what you're talking about. You look confused there with your big bird.
I haven't had any idea of what you guys are talking about for a while now.
Oh, okay. We're explaining what happened. He's explaining to you the change.
No, just in character, above table. I
okay,
understand what's going on.
Oh,
He's-
okay.
No, just straight up in
It's
character.
okay.
I'm like,
it's okay. He's
I
the
don't know
muscle.
what's going
Alright.
on.
We don't
I'm so confused. I sounded like some other person.
It's okay. He's the muscle.
I sounded like my.
you're talking about other realms and
Okay,
worlds
well,
and whatever the hell a god is. I don't.
Oh, come on. You know what a god is.
I mean, all right.
Maybe.
So let's
What?
clarify and
Okay.
move back here real quick. So you've got like a couple of the chain. Now I do know the ones that were the biggest problem are the ones that are currently in the abyss. That one is unfortunately was and with no decent foresight was placed just outside the city of Dis on the second level of hell, which I don't know why you would put it there. But I mean, at least it's not on Avernus, which is for you are obviously all lost. So, anyways, it doesn't matter. There's a couple places where the chains are completely unguarded. Some where they're actively being attacked, and we fear if a couple of the links break, that this thing will get out. And now, since the time is shifted backwards, we've got, I don't know, I feel at the rate less than a year before it goes all the way back. And some other places are going to be like completely empty. Some of the citadels are going to be gone. Like, it's just going to be a link that's been sitting there. Like, I mean, the spell itself is ancient, but it's the guardians that are what's disappearing.
So, what are you asking of us? Do we need to go kick some butt? What's going on?
Is this a story that you tell to everyone who comes into your shop? Or is there something specific about
I
us?
I mean, from his greeting, he knew we were
Obviously-
coming, Edward. This is some like
that
he
was
basically
Edward.
revealed that he's got some weird timey-wimey godhood stuff going on.
That's what I'm
That
You
saying.
can suspend a little
100%
bit of disbelief in this case, I believe.
That is exactly
no,
what I'm saying, though, Ticto. If he knew that we were coming, then he
I did.
clearly has an idea.
Well, okay, no, I knew that there was going to be the people that were going to be able to help me. I didn't know it was exactly you, but I knew I was going to come in contact with the person who has a person who's obviously connected to the time stream. We got one over here. We got person with a strong sense of self-preservation and driven to leave this realm, so explore, which means probably not be here. That's you. And then we got somebody with some Faerunian blood. And he looks directly at Fodor. He's like, your family is immigrants, just so you know.
Like extraplanar immigrants?
Apparently, you have dimension-hopping family members at
That
Fodor.
is
That's
correct.
pretty cool.
That is correct.
So,
But yes, so that's the main issue. But between you and me, what I was actually hoping for is in the deal that I worked out with those three associates is that I actually came out on top. So I would like you to try to resolve this situation, but still let me keep my stuff. Are we seeing where I'm coming from here?
I mean, obviously,
I
in
need a
return for
problem
one
that
thing,
needs to be fixed, but I would like. I benefited, so I'd like to keep that.
so for one thing, yes, I obviously understand that one of the benefits is that this being of nothingness does not enter the material plane, but if you came out on top on the previous deal, what's to prevent you from coming out on top on this one?
Fucking absolutely nothing.
I mean, like, do we get anything out of this? I mean, beyond the preservation of the universe or whatever, what have you.
Oh, you need more. You need more than not dying. Okay. I guess by not dying, you could also maybe get a lot of money, and when you're able, I'll teach you some cool spells. How's that?
It sounds good to me.
All right, there. Yeah,
spells is good.
Anybody
I like
else
spells.
Want anything? Anybody else like? Anybody else gonna be like, oh, staying alive
cool.
not good enough?
God, I have a
Yeah,
problem.
I mean, like, I'm literally a mercenary. I live for money. Put
Yeah, see,
my
I
life on the
respect
line
that.
for money. You know, it's all for money.
Honestly, I think
I
the only one you're going to
respect
have to
that.
talk into doing this is Edward.
Oh, really? I gotta talk Edward into it. Watch this. Edward, you want to get to the dragon above?
That is my goal. Yes.
Done. All right. Yeah, there. See? I helped all of you reach your life's goals. There, you happy.
Very well. So what do we have to do? You haven't specified that.
Well, you haven't really asked yet. I was
I
just
have
telling you the
asked that
backstory.
multiple times. I feel like it just keeps getting you.
I will take your bracelet back off.
No, please,
So
no.
you
No.
better stop being a pushy. All right.
I can't help it. It's okay. I like knowledge.
Yeah. Well, it comes with patience sometimes.
Nope.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so as I said, there are a lot of these chains are breaking. So you're going to need to start figuring out where to go. Okay?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like this all happened because the gods are gone. So it seems like the logical thing to do would just be to put the gods back. You said that they got the outcome they did because they went back in time. How did they go back in
Well, you see that ship back there? It can go back in time, forward in time. So what? But the problem that I'm saying is they're now gods in that realm, and they do not like. I mean, like logically, you'd think all I got to do is just jump back on the ship and be like, no, stop it. But they don't allow it. Like they have as soon as they figured out what happened, like time travel in that area, like they police that shit so hard, it's disgusting. Like you got to go in there with like waivers. I mean, Asmodeus is a god of order, so I mean, like think evil narcissistic bureaucracy.
Oh,
So they're
God.
gonna be in there and be like,
No.
okay, I need your time travel paperwork. You need an XJ12225. Oh, you're going 4,000 years in the past. Well, that's it. Yeah, it's horrible. And I mean, like, could I go back in time? Absolutely. Is it worth the effort anymore? Absolutely fucking not. Like, I do not care for that.
Because they have their time police maintaining their timeline.
That's exactly what you talk about. Well, they're called chronopaladins. Yeah. I mean, it's a cool ass group though. They ride on these like automated, like automaton horses. Like it's neat.
I see.
But yeah, they can travel back and forwards. They're like bastards. They do the job. Like everybody that follows Asmodeus, they are like dead nuts on it.
So you think
the problem
we
is you
can
gotta
take
go-
on gods?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said you can take on God. You're right.
Yeah,
That's
very
exactly what I
good
said.
person.
He goes and opens a door where in it is like the stellar, like black, perfectly ordered street. He's like, there you go, Mr. Godslayer. I wasn't trying to just go on.
Nuh-uh.
Take on God. Definitely. Let's just not try to figure a plan out. Let's just right to the launch.
You're
Right now.
What's
Yeah,
your plan,
no,
Stan?
Oh, there we go. Let's talk about it. Okay. First off, you don't even know where the chains are. Like, I'm trying to tell you. You know where one is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so first off, we need to assess the situation and see how bad it is.
Mm-hmm.
So if you got the ones where the Guardians are intact, you probably don't have to worry about it.
I see.
Okay, but remember, we only need 2, maybe 3 chains to break. Okay? If 3 chains break, it's done. That spell's broken and that thing escapes. And the last thing it escaped, it destroyed half of the... I don't even want to get into it.
So you're saying the abyssal chain is broken?
No, the abyssal chain is probably most likely in peril.
I see. The chain of Faerun, is that in danger?
I don't even know what is going on in Faerun anymore. I can tell you where it's at, but I mean, that is the source of the time ship. The whole thing moving backwards is the source is in Faerun.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, the most drastic change is happening in there.
So we determined Eberron is okay. What are the
Eberron
remaining...
is weakened.
Weakened, yes.
Remember,
fair.
there was 2 Guardians.
That's fair.
And so one is missing. So Eberron is weakened, but that one Guardian is a hell of a Guardian.
Yes. He was quite impressive.
Yeah. And as long as he sticks to his post, we'll probably be okay, but it needs to be watched.
He seemed very content to stick around and not be bothered by anyone ever again.
Yeah, he does not like people.
Yes.
But he did like his other one. Like, those 2 were like the exact same person. They went like 3,000 years and said 12 words to each other. And 11 of those words were bacon.
Bacon? Got it.
Bacon.
So
I like bacon a lot.
we need to... What are the other realms that require attention? Possible attention?
This is where I wish my computer was working because I would have just pulled up the thing that I wrote, but I'll show it to you next week. He's gonna open up a sheet, and on there, it like he takes a quill, and he just like taps on it, and he uses it. He taps it. You see this thing start like filling out. And you see him draw like a wheel, okay, and in the center. He's like, if any of you are familiar with the cosmic wheel,
I've heard the concept tossed around. Yes.
No, I'm talking. This is above board, above the table. If any of you guys are familiar with what the cosmic wheel looks like in Dungeons and Dragons,
No.
okay, so that's what he draws out. Okay, so you guys don't have to like take notes or anything.
I know what I wanted.
But
to.
huh?
I said I know, but I wanted to. But okay.
Okay, well then do it then. Take notes. So he draws it out, and he's like, okay, so he draws in the center. He's like, this is Abir Teril, also known as Faerun. Right here, the prime material is right here. And he goes, the first chain, the central chain, is here. And there's a massive continent. And he's like, this is where Waterdeep is, which is now basically where the Citadel of Asmodeus is. It's called New Avenue. But that it was Waterdeep. He goes, so, and it's huge. He starts, as he points it out, you see this city, and it's literally like 2/3 of the entire coastline. It goes probably like a couple hundred miles in. He's like, the city is enormous. He's like, it's guarded by this giant Dreamwalker giant named Nyx, who I guess is sworn to not let anybody leave. So, and in order to come there, you got to sign the Book of Asmodeus, which sells your soul to Asmodeus. But it's just considered like a rite of passage now. So the whole realm doesn't know that they sell their soul to Asmodeus at birth. Like you come to New Avernus, boom, you sold your soul to Asmodeus. You're born there, boom, sold to Asmodeus. They've been doing this for 4,000 years. That's what that group did. Was they thought they were being clever, and they completely fucked everything.
I mean, they got what they wanted from the sounds of it, but it doesn't.
Oh,
make
absolutely.
It good.
You got there's a Logi, the trickster god, who's a fucking dildo, but he's funny as shit. There's Piotr, who's actually like a war cleric. That's what he was. He was like a cleric of like some goody god who then turned out to not be that good, who then went to Asmodeus. But yeah, he's a war god, and he's fucking efficient as shit.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a fucking cat.
You know about that one?
I was above table, but...
Yeah. Yeah, then there's the weirdest one. It's a Dreamwalker Cat who helped Asmodeus, provided he makes his owner immortal so he could get belly rubs through all time. But yeah, he's a god. Just a fucking, like, he's literally like chaos incarnate. He'll do one thing to help you, and then like he's a cat, a god cat. But these three
Cat with infinite belly rubs.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be happy with that, but occasionally he'll pop up. Oh, he also is like a minor god of the were-rats. I don't know how that worked out, but every fucking were-rat in that world worships him.
Hmm.
It makes no sense.
Tracks.
That tracks.
So regardless, so you have these three.
Yeah, so he points to a spot in there. And he is like, it used to be here. And he says this is older than that. It's been around for like 15, 20,000 years. And it's just called the Iron Citadel. And it's supposed to be heavily guarded. It's the only one that doesn't have only like a magical guardian. It's got a mixture of humans and some, like there's a full garrison there. But I don't know if it's still there. So yeah, I mean, Faerun is fucked up. Like it was a balance between like, you know, you had Ayun who has a personal stake in this one, but she had some guardians with the Cobalt Soul that were there. There was Lathander had some people. He's another light god. Pelor obviously had some people, but then it also had a denizen of the Far Realm that was the main guardian. It was a beholder. A beholder with the weird name of Rick. And he was there solely because he knew that if this thing happened, if this chain broke, he and all of his stuff would die, and that's enough motivation for a beholder. But as I said, each group sent like a guardian from their plane. So the Far Planes sent a beholder to watch it. And he worked out well. Like, strangely, he's crazy, but I mean, but that's it. It's the Iron Citadel. And
do I know what a beholder is?
no, you can do a knowledge check and see if you can pull one out.
Let's try it. Why not? Oh wow, my dice like me today a lot.
What do you got?
Let's see. I got a 19 on the dice. What was that? +2 knowledge check?
You know that he doesn't sound like a beholder. Or that he doesn't sound like a Wanti.
Like 21.
You don't know exactly what a beholder is, but you think to yourself, is it that thing with all the eyeballs? Like,
eyeball.
yeah, beholders are those floating eyeballs with a bunch of other little eyeballs that come off the heads. Where'd you see one?
Guessed? I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Am I right then? All right, well then now we're going to go, the second chain is going to be in hell. Second level, right outside the city of Dis. It's going to be called the Shattered Mountain. And on the Shattered Mountain is another one of the links. Okay? This one is guarded by 2 dragons. You got a platinum dragon and you got a red dragon. And they fucking hate each other, but they work together because they also do not want to die. And Bahamut and Tiamat told them to get together. Also 2 different gods.
That's a lot.
Now, those 2 gods are still around, but their influence is greatly weakened. But they're both gods of the dragons. Now, the problem with dragons are pretty much agents of chaos, and Asmodeus has nothing to do with that shit. So, the number of dragons is a lot less than what it used to be. So, Bahamut and Tiamat are a lot less than what they used to be. They used to be like forces to be reckoned with. I can't hear a word out of Ticto's mouth right now because I think he muted his microphone. There we go.
I thought the metallic ones were on the side of order.
Yeah, it's a pairing. There's a white, there's a platinum, and there's a red.
Yeah, but you said that
Bahamut is the metallic dragon.
So
yes.
wouldn't only the chaotic dragon have been affected by this new order?
You don't know shit about Tiamat, do you?
No.
Right.
No.
All right. Well, then let me tell my story, and how about you shut up?
Proceed.
Okay, from now on, pertinent questions only.
Okay.
That's fair.
Okay, the next one is in Sigil. Okay? Sigil has no guardian. The chain is literally in the Plaza of the Chain. That's what it's called, not creative.
Hmm.
Actually, sorry. Yeah. Chain Plaza. That's a Plaza of the Chain, Plaza of the Link. I don't care. Whatever. It's a large opening with a chain sticking in it. You can't miss it. Now, this is the one I'm most concerned about because I don't go to Sigil or talk to Sigil because Sigil's its own thing. He as he's talking about it, you see the cosmological wheel go, and you see the planes, and then at the very top is this little donut that's just this cap on the top of the wheel, and he's as he's talking, the whole map is filling itself in, and he goes, "That's Sigil," and he goes, "There are no gods in Sigil. The Sigil's run by the Lady of Pain, and nobody fucks with her."
So if there's
Now-
no gods, why would they be affected and stop caring about the chain?
Because shit is changed. Sigil is balance. The Lady of Pain is the embodiment of balance. If that balance is thrown off and she's not there or something's wrong with it, that is an unguarded chain. See, the problem is we didn't have a guardian. Yeah, we didn't have a guardian because with the Lady of Pain, you don't need a guardian because nobody messes with her or is able to mess with her. She is, you'll see when you meet her, but if you meet her. So there was never a need. Okay, then the other one, my chain, which is still fine. He explains that his chain is guarded by a series his people from the Shadowfell and the Feywild. But he also has he explains, he's like, I got a pair of purple worms that just kind of do this circuit around it. They, you gotta feed them, but I mean, they've been there forever, like a moat, but with giant ass worms in it. That's how I guard mine.
It's a moat made of giant worms. Got it.
Yes. And then of course I've got my own garrisons of people from both sides of the fence. That's actually just outside. That's a Nuvarian Citadel. My Citadel. I just built it around it. It makes it easier. And then you saw the Spire of the Earthly Anchor.
Yes.
Yeah, you saw that one. All right. And then the last one, this is the one that I'm most worried about. Is hold on a second. This one is the one that is in the highest. It's in something called the Gates of the Moon. It's a celestial city. It was well within I think Mistra's domain, she's the mistress of magic. I think it's technically in her area, but it might have also been Saloon. To say, I don't know. They all muddy up their shit and they get up in the heavens. But there's a lot of stuff missing in that one now. Almost all of their belief came from Faerun, and that is greatly diminished. So that's the one I think I would have to check out Sigil and that one first, if you want my opinion.
Perhaps, it seems like we should probably go for can I assume that the gates of the moon is sort of the realm of the gods, so to speak?
Yeah. No. The high gods, the good,
Yeah,
old,
yeah, yes,
the
yes,
good
yes.
gods, the good. Yeah. The celestial realms. Yeah, that one. That's the gates of the moon.
That seems to be the one that's most in peril. Sigil,
Yeah, it's
I mean,
not.
it could go either way. Yes, obviously things are not in balance now, but just because, order has prevailed in this case and chaos has been stunted does not mean that there is no longer.
Yeah, it's
It seems
problem.
to me, from what you've told me, that the places most in peril are that of the abyss and that of the high gods.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. See, the problem with the abyss is it's two dragons that hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
And
one of the dragons might have significantly just been weakened.
Yeah. They're there because their gods told them to. Now, the one thing, I don't know if you know anything about dragons, not this Eberron dragon shit, like dragon, is if you want it to do the opposite of what you asked it to do, or just ask it to do the opposite. Like, if you want it, like, it's like talking to a child where you're like, don't clean your room. And they're like, I'll show you, I'll clean my room. That's a dragon. If you tell them they have to do this, they're not going to do it. So the minute that they're no longer compelled to do this, chances are good they probably both just fucked off and left it unguarded. Now, the positive thing is this would mean, because it's just outside of the city of Dis on the second plane of hell, you have less likely of demons going after it, because demons don't give a fuck and devils do. Remember that. That is a distinction you need to understand. Is that a devil will save its own skin and a demon will burn the house around it just because it thinks it's fun.
Just out of spite. Got it.
Yeah, for no reason other than to fuck shit up.
So currently you're asking us to choose between heaven and hell. And then
or
in
sigil.
Between. Gentlemen?
So, I'm just going to say my opinion. I know my chain is fine because I check it like all the time. And then he looks at like a device that he holds in his hand and he's like right now it's fine. And he's like, and the one here has a guardian still. So those four, the one in Faerun, I don't know what it's about. The one in Dis, I don't know what that's about. The City of the Moon, the Gates of the Moon, sorry, that one definitely is a point of concern. And Sigil's a big maybe. So that's four.
So,
four that are big maybe.
Do we want to go with the one that's going to be? Do we want to start with the one that's going to be the most unpleasant, or the one that's going to be the most pleasant? What do you think, Edward?
What's the most pleasant?
The high gods, I assume.
What?
I mean, when you ask me to choose between the abyss, the Gate of the Moon, and Sigil, it sounds like the nicest place to go to first.
No, you're thinking that the idea. Okay, yeah, you know what? All right, yeah,
like location-wise.
No, you know what? You do you. You know what you want to do. I'm just get started.
I was like, I'm assuming the abyss would be the shittiest place to start. Like, just like, do you want to start with?
That's what you want to do. No, I mean it's fine. It's fine. It's. You're right. There's absolutely nothing wrong with high heaven. There's absolutely nothing wrong with celestial realms. It's super easy to get to and stuff.
Okay, what's the easiest one to get to, Magic Man?
Yeah, it depends. I mean, for me, they're all fine. I'm just like, are you ready for all
What's
of that?
the easiest one for us to go to for you, Magic
Sid.
Man?
Oh, now we're having an attitude.
I mean,
Is that what we're doing? He
I'm
snaps
I'm
his finger
I'm
and your
made
little
of.
bracelet comes back to his hand. So now you have a splitting headache as everything's fuzzy around you. I mean, he holds
You
it up.
know,
He's like,
if you
"Now
want-
are we gonna be respectful and listen?"
If you want me, I'm trying to determine our options, and you're having an attitude with me first, so decided to give an attitude back. Now, just because you have more power than me doesn't mean that you are necessarily better. You're asking for my assistance, and now you're torturing me because you decided that I got an attitude when I'm asking for more clarifying questions. Now, do you want our help? I'm trying to determine the best course of action, and when I
don't think he
start
does.
trying to talk through those, you get
He,
snippy with me.
yeah, he ignores you completely now, and he talks to Edward.
I go and kick his shins.
Okay,
I'm just like,
roll for damage.
roll for damage.
Yes.
Oh. I don't know what damage would to roll for Tic-Tac for
Just-
kicking someone in the shins.
Well, just
I
you're
think
gonna
it's D4. It's unarmed.
roll an attack first,
Okay.
and then you're just gonna do an unarmored strike, which is
I
a
did
D4.
not. I rolled a 3 on the die, so it's like
All right.
So that's a super.
You miss, and he looks at you, and he just goes, right. And then he looks at Edward. Do you have any questions of where you should probably start?
I would like your expert opinion. If you were the ones who checking the chain, where would you start?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. As an archfey, I have a little bit different constitution, but as far as places most similar in environment to here, you got Sigil and Faerun. Faerun is a fucking nightmare lately, but that's a bureaucratic nightmare. You need a different set of circumstances to survive in heaven or hell.
so he asked that question and he gets a straight answer. I start saying things and
No,
ask
you
questions.
just The difference is, did you ask a question? No, you're just like, oh, celestial. It's got to be perfect. So easy. Yeah, if you're a celestial, then it's great. That's like the ocean's fucking awesome if you're a
Yes,
fish.
well, why didn't you fucking say that?
Because you're an attitude-filled, angsty little bitch, and it's driving me nuts right now. Now put your bracelet back on and shut up. As he tosses it back to you.
Fine.
Navaria,
Fuck!
is there any kind of added protection that you may be able to give to us for heaven or hell?
Not at this time. Like, I got some, but you're not able to use it. Like the stuff I could give you, it would kill one of you. Like, or all of you. I don't know,
So
but
we're
I know
not-
for a fact.
We're not ready
You're
yet,
not-
is what we're
No,
you're
you're
saying.
nowhere near ready for it. I mean, I got some stuff that'll keep you safe everywhere, but like that's high level shit. Like
I don't
the
know, I
amount
just-
of juice you're required to take it you can't control those energies yet. Any of you.
Very well. So it appears to Sigil we go.
Right.
Also, he looks at you and he's like, he asks you, Ticto, he's like, don't you have a familiar? Like, isn't that what you wizards do now?
He's like right here on my hat.
Holy fuck, that's a bird! And yeah, the bird is sleeping on your hat the whole time. It's like
Yeah, like
moves.
what? I mean, I don't have to talk to him all the time.
Yeah, but where's he from?
It's from. So, like, technically, I think they're from the astral plane, right? Familiars.
No, that's what yours. At your owl is specifically celestial.
It is. I never specified
Yeah.
that. Did I?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Because remember,
right.
it was a rule where
All
I
right.
had to go.
I don't think you ever told me that, but okay.
I did.
It's like, oh, he's from the celestial plane.
Yeah, I did tell you. Because it was a dice roll that picked it.
Pretty sure. I don't know.
Hold
what
on,
you
I'm
told
checking.
me.
I'm checking my notes. Because I this is gonna shock nobody, but I have a tendency to just make shit up.
I was say I don't like. I think I just summoned an owl. I don't think you told me where it was from. I think specifically the spell says you summon it from the astral plane or something, but maybe I'm wrong.
Oh my god, there's so many people you've met so far. This makes me so happy.
Yeah, Watch is just chilling. How you doing, Watcher?
Yeah, I'm all right. We talking about going where?
So apparently we might be going to Sigil and a bunch of other places, like the High Realms.
He perks up. He's like, "What? Yeah, it's a celestial."
Mm-hmm.
No, it says in the notes it's a celestial. I told you in stream 2.
I don't take that good notes, so maybe.
I don't think we started taking notes until like stream 4. We started like getting a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
So, he's like, "We're going where?"
Well, first we're going to Sigil, but eventually we might be going to the High Realms, the gates of the moon.
He gets a little excited. He's like, "I've been there."
Yes.
Yeah. He's like, a long time ago. But you suspect a long time ago was like 3 weeks because he's not that old.
Since he's been summoned.
Yeah, he's not old at all. So like you're like, oh yeah, a long time ago.
Well.
Yeah, you don't know specifically where, but he did get excited about going to that area.
Interesting.
He's like, so you want to go to Sigil first, huh? That's probably your safest bet.
Yes. According to what we've been told, that is the case.
Yeah. Any idea how you're going to get there?
I don't know.
Oh, you
You're the
want
one giving us the job. We're just supposed to, like, you give us the job and we're supposed to figure out all the travel and all the shit. Usually when an employer, like, they at least give, when someone employs you, they at least give you, like, some kind of, like, travel recommendations.
I'm going to have to hold your hand the whole fucking time, aren't I?
At least get
we're
us
not
there. We can figure it out
extra-dimensional
after that.
beings, if you haven't noticed. We're a couple of gnomes and a half-elf. We can't really go to planes we've never seen or heard of until, like, recently.
I mean, if I could snap
Did
my
you
fingers...
forget we're basically idiots compared to your godlike knowledge?
Gentlemen,
You know, you two make an excellent point. I'm going to talk to your boss really quick. Yes, sir, go ahead.
I do believe that my associates are forgetting.
I'm
that we
robbing
have
you
a
all
way
in
to
your
Sigil.
sleep later.
You don't have a way.
We have a way to Sigil, gentlemen. Do you not remember what you were telling me when we were at the spy?
Oh, the big demon guy who said he hates both of you and doesn't want either of you to ever come back?
Yeah, you figuring that part?
That's
You
a
said he
great
doesn't want-
idea.
Doesn't want us to. We're not going to be allowed to go back in there ever again. There's a spell there to something called the City of Doors. Is that Sigil?
Yes.
Yeah, it can be called that.
Okay, so I know a.
So wait,
place-
wanna
hold on,
die.
hold on. What do you mean you pissed off the Guardian and he can't go back?
These two made him really angry by being stupid.
He started it.
I did nothing with it.
No. He started it. Edward started it. And then
Have you not noticed you have a slight pattern of pissing everything off? Like, is this? Do you not understand how inherently grating you are? Like, just
I just like to know things, okay?
Like,
And then when people don't
I
tell
get
me
that,
things
I
when
get
they
that,
know
but-
things, then I get angry, and then I want them to be annoyed at the same level that I am, okay?
I get it. You're just the kind of person who's like, let me show you how you pet my dog. And you're like, oh, you mean the total opposite way? You literally rub people the wrong way on purpose.
Not on purpose.
It's feeling kind of purposeful right now.
I mean, when you start annoying me, then I'm going to annoy back. Like, what do you want from me?
All right, anyway, so you two pissed off the Guardian. And then he looks at Fodor and he's like, I'm assuming you can't cast the spell
No.
at all,
No.
can you?
No.
Do you have any pull with this Guardian? Can you just, like, get us there and be like, hey, these guys are just gonna
He's now like
pass
fully
through?
ignoring you.
Ah.
He's now like full on just ignoring you, and he just walks up to where he goes up to Captain Clagan, and he's like, you see him talking. They're muttering back and forth, and the one's like goes outside. He comes back in with a doorknob, just a regular doorknob, and hands it to him. Any of you guys close enough to hear him? Like, you could try a perception check if you want, or it doesn't matter.
I'll try perception.
I
Okay.
will too.
We just need one.
Okay.
Send it, Edward.
Yeah. Shall I go ahead and roll with advantage? Cause
What languages do you
helping me.
speak?
Oh, I speak Common, Druidic, Elvish, Gnomish, and
Okay,
Sylvan.
then yeah, you understand. Okay, roll.
Yep. That's a 19 plus 8, so 27.
Oh yeah. You see him like get up and very purposely walk over to Captain Clagan and is like, you're like, this is gonna be a really important conversation, and he's like, and all you hear be like, you still got that box of doorknobs? I was like, yeah. Go get me one. He's like, all right. And he leaves and comes back. He's like, here. And he hands him just a doorknob. It's just
What language are they speaking?
Elvish.
Okay.
Which you guys who don't speak Elvish are under the impression they're having a really, really important conversation. And you guys are like super like focused in and some high level magic shit probably happening, and he's gonna get a super great artifact. And so you guys are like super impressed at what happened.
I forgot
comes
I don't speak
over-
English.
And he hands
I
you
don't
the
speak Elvish at
doorknob.
all.
And he goes, this'll do it. He goes, he like he gives you the doorknob, and you see this symbol appear on it. Of like a spire with a little like circle on the top of it. And he goes, that'll work. Just put it in any door.
I take the knob and I put it in the closest door next to me.
Okay. It's weird because like this doorknob, like, you know, this door's already got a knob. But like when you hold the doorknob up to it, it like just slaps dead center like a Hobbit door. You know, like in Lord of the Rings, where it's like right in the middle. And you just turn it, it opened. And you get in there, and it's like this weird, very like artificially bright city.
Real quick,
Like, and by art,
if we leave, how do we get back?
he walks over to the doorknob, shuts the door, pulls the doorknob off, and then goes.
Okay,
Use the
I
knob.
just wanted to make sure. Okay, like I didn't want
Okay.
to get stranded in another place. Like,
He goes, this knob takes you to this building and to Sigil. Whatever door you come out of, that's the door it works to.
okay,
Now,
That's
and then
pretty
he's like,
cool.
so I'm gonna. So
hold on, stop talking. I'm gonna kick you. You gotta understand one thing. Sigil is full of portals. It's the city of doors for a reason. So fucking keep your eyes open. Don't just walk through every open orifice because it could end up taking you somewhere weird as shit. Or that you have no interest in going.
okay,
But this knob will work on the door you come out at, that specific door, and will bring you back here. That's it. It's a two-way thing. If you use it on any other door, I don't know. But if you're in Sigil, you come back here. And here to Sigil. That's it.
Understood.
Okay. I just wanted to
Okay.
make sure that I understood how the doorknob worked. I didn't know it was a ticket back as well. Thank you.
Yes. You know what? I'm shocked by your sudden civility.
You know, I find that I tend to escalate conversations, not de-escalate a lot of the
No,
time.
you are an excitable gnome. I'm just saying. You really expect the hot temper to come out of your like barbarian friend, but he's like super calm. And you're like, let's fucking fight wizard.
It actually takes
Like-
a lot to get him riled up. It's interesting.
Which you'd really think it'd be the opposite way. You'd really think it'd be the other way around.
I can drink him under the table too. It's hilarious.
It's true.
It's actually
You
quite
can't eat as many sandwiches as I can, though.
That
Not
That
even
is-
close.
also
that
fair.
is a weird flex. I'm just being honest, it's weird. All right. Now remember, all you're doing is checking. You're looking for the Lady of Pain is fine. Everything is fine. The Lady of Pain is not fine. We got bigger problems than I thought of.
Very well.
Should be quick.
Okay.
Again, you open the door. You open the door and you see this unnaturally bright city. And by unnatural, I mean the shadows are like it's like the sun is coming straight down from everywhere. Like there's very minimal. It's like a very artificial lit, like kind of like the floor of a warehouse.
So like
you know,
no shadows except like
It's,
directly under things.
Yeah. But then at the same time, they have like these ghost shadows of like, you know, like when you've got like 12 lights and you got like where the shadows converge from everything is the dark ones. And then like the little like extra shadows from like the lights that are off to the side and off to the side and off to the side. You know what I'm talking about? So yeah, it's like these weird light shadows, but then like the main shadows directly below. So yeah, but you walk through and it's weird because it goes on what it seems like, you know, those movies where the city seems to like go up the edges and like curl around, but there's no definable like border. Like this is a weird city. It just seems to be everywhere.
Wow.
Yeah, as you walk in and the door shuts, who is holding the knob?
I am.
Edward.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So you guys come in. You guys come into this long cord. This long. It's like a very narrow street. Very plain, like kind of adobe clayish buildings. And you see a weird group of creatures that are like, they look kind of like satyrs, but not. And we'll get to it after our break. We'll see you guys back in 5 minutes.
So that's when I
Alright.
told him about tabletop loot. Have I mentioned tabletop loot? I'm sure I've probably mentioned it to you guys. But I mean, if I haven't already mentioned it to you guys, it's this awesome site that I go to where I buy all my dice. I mean, I get like their monthly subscription box. So I just get like dice delivered to my door every month for only $25.
So do I.
Oh, you got it too? Oh
Yeah.
man, aren't they the fucking greatest? The best thing about them is their customer service. They are such cool people. In fact, they gave me this really awesome promo code. It's NOL15, and apparently you can go there and use that code and get 15% off of any dice set that you want. It's fucking insane. And they have like some of the coolest dice there. It's so fucking cool. Anyways, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like hold up your... are we back on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit, man. Sorry.
That's weird. You just started
bad,
into
yeah.
that thing, and I couldn't stop you. It was strange.
That was fun. Yeah, go figure, right? I mean, sigil, you know?
All right. So you open it up and you get in there and you get in the doorway, you see these like short, squat, like 1-2-story squarish buildings that are kind of like made of clay, like adobe type thing. And the street in this area is cobbled and it goes off into the distance. And you see a group of people that are, milling around, a whole bunch of different, you see like minotaurs, you see humans, you see elves, I'm pretty sure you see like an angel, you see some like, just everything you could have, some creatures you've never seen. And then as you come out there and you're standing there kind of like taking it all in, you see a group of 13 creatures walk by you. They're about medium size, 5.5 feet tall, maybe 6. Long, dark, like both male and female. Females have like the longer greenish hair, heavily scaled skin. Some have tails, some don't. Some are walking on 2 legs. Very reptilian face, and they're carrying various items. One is carrying like an urn. One is carrying like 2 of them have like a little chest in between. They're just carrying like various goods down the street.
I immediately start looking worriedly between them and Fodor and just... Fodor? Keep it cool. We just got here. It's okay.
One stops, this larger framed but shorter, like, male looks, and he's like, "Can we help you? You seem lost."
Well, we just arrived. We're looking for the Chain Plaza.
The Chain Plaza.
Mm-hmm.
I am not familiar with this place, but Sigil is quite large.
Mm-hmm.
He looks forward.
Fodor?
He's like,
Settle.
"You seem distressed."
Don't touch me. Constipated.
Can I do an insight check on him? I don't know, like, because apparently, like, I want to see if he's actually lying to me about, like, he doesn't know where the Chain Plaza is, because we were told that this place is, like, really well known.
Go.
Okay. So, alright, insight check.
Damn it.
Oh, shit!
Oh, damn.
That is a 28 after my goddamn bonuses.
Okay. You get the sense that this particular one wants to know, is like legitimately trying to help you, but is also like, from his language and the way he keeps looking around and everything, you think he might have just gotten here too. So, he doesn't know. you suspect that he's got the look of somebody who's, plane just landed.
Mm.
So, but you think he might have a better idea on where to ask and get these directions, or you suspect maybe somebody in the group has been there longer. So, because they had, since your insight was a natural 20, I'm going to give you, you're now looking at the behavior of the rest of the group. Okay, it's like when you go to the city and your first time in the city, you're like talking to every homeless person you can because you don't know any better. And then like the people who are born and raised in the city, like just know how to move without interacting.
Mm-hmm.
Like you notice there's this group of which now you count out as 13, and they are Wanti purebloods. Like they're like yeah, they're all. This is why I was so excited. This random encounter I rolled were 13 Wanti pureblood. I was like, this is the best thing ever. Yeah.
So I can tell who's from the city then?
Yeah, you can tell who's from the city and who's not. But this one, for some reason, doesn't want to let you. He's like, you can kind of get the idea. He's like one of those dudes that think real men don't ask questions or don't, they all inherently should know everything because that's what men do. So, you're convinced he might not know, but somebody else does.
Can I? Because he stopped us, right?
Yeah, but now he's focused on the fact that he's concerned that Fodor is about to die, so he thinks he's sick, and Fodor's like, "Don't touch me!" So now he's like really like dialed in on Fodor. He's like, "What? Are you all right?" Sure.
Can I hit Photo with a charm person?
Yeah, sure. You can try. Yeah, he's completely confused. No,
I'm trying my best not to react with either like a fight or flight response because I'm super uncomfortable around a 1T.
Fodor, I would like you to pick even or odds.
Okay.
He needs a wisdom saving throw, but for me,
and I have advantage on that.
Okay,
what?
This one.
Gnomes, bro.
Oh fuck.
Okay, David. Evens or odds? You gotta decide which one. Are you gonna go aggressive?
You said evens or odds, so I'm odds. Go odds.
Odds is you fight him.
I don't know. Fight who? The 1T?
Right.
I'm trying to keep my shit together, so you want me to flip a coin?
Well, I need to know: is the odds you lose it, or the odds you control it?
I don't know.
Well, you're the character. You have to pick. I'm just letting the dice be random.
Oh. We'll go evens, I lose it. Odds, I stay sane.
Okay, it was a 5. So you're able to hold it in, but like you keep finding your hand like going to your weapon all the time. You're like that meme of the kid sitting in science class, like looking like you're about to shit your pants.
Accurate.
Does that mean he failed my charm person?
No, he has to roll it.
Okay.
So, if you're still going to go through with that. But yeah, Fodor, you are, if one of them reaches out to touch you, you're going to fucking attack. So the guy's like, you don't see well.
I'm just going to keep like shuffling a little bit back away from him because I'm like, I don't know what happens. I can walk free. That's like inner dialogue.
He looks at Edward and he looks at Ticto and he's like, is he unwell?
He has he's afflicted by a reptile-based phobia. I really hope that's not offensive, but it's nothing to do with you. It's just he has some problems. We've been trying.
He broke his heart when he was young, and now he hates them all.
Sure.
Just like struggling not to
Yes. So
say anything crazy.
he's okay. He's just he's having a bit of an internal struggle right now, and I'm sorry.
He'll look at you, and he'll look at you, and oh, okay. He'll look at you, and he'll go, apologies. I hope whatever my people have done to you in the past does not reflect on how you see us in the future.
Oh fuck.
And he backs off. I did a high-low. Like, high was going to be, like, noble, and low was going to be, fuck you! And it was a natural 20, so I was like,
shit.
I guess he's going to be, like, crazy understanding. I was so excited. I had all the
Nice.
order. I'd already done all the rolls for you guys to fight Wanties. Fucking fuck.
Nice. It would have been awesome because, like, yeah.
Dude, it would have been, like, great. But, yeah.
But terrible at the same time. Let's just fight everybody
let-
in Sigil for no reason. 'Cause they're
You gotta let the
I
dice
mean,
tell
Fodor
you.
still has a
Snipe people.
chance to like still flip his lids. So what's Fodor gonna do
Edward.
now that the Wanti was like, "I'm sorry for whatever we did to you"?
Yeah, what do? You this
continue looking incredibly constipated because there's no amount of apologies that can fix the Apocalypse Now redux that Fodor experienced at the hands of the Wanti.
But are you okay? So you're still.
It was war
right now?
crimes. It was war crimes,
Okay.
Joel. That's why Fodor
No,
hates the
that's
Wanti.
fine. That's fine. But like he's
Crimes.
So you're still like.
I was just like trying to be like, not
Every
say
step-
anything, but not escalate. Just be like,
Every step backwards. I love that you gave me the backstory because now I know exactly how to push your button if I want to. So like he backs off, and every step backwards, you're a little bit more comfortable. Edward, who is not bothered by the Wanti in any way, shape, or form, and your super high insight check. What are you doing?
So you said that like it looks like a number of his comrades kind of know where they're going, sort of thing.
They have it's not like they know where they're going, but you can tell from their demeanor that they have been around a little bit. Like they're more comfortable in the city and have that like I know what I'm doing kind of mentality.
Okay. I'm going to the one that has approached us and is still kind of like engaged with us. I'm going to kind of like take him, like put my arm around him, kind of like, walk with him a couple paces back towards his friends and whatnot. And I'm gonna like, just kind of like, very, very hush hush. Look at him and go, my friend, you have to understand, it is dire that we reach the plaza of the chain. You don't seem to know this place nearly as well as some of your other friends do. Perhaps it would go a long way towards curing my friend of his affliction if perhaps you could ask some of your compatriots the directions to this
Okay.
top of the chain.
Are we doing an intimidation or a persuasion? Like, how are you trying to work this? Because that feels your motion is going to be a little bit more heavy-handed, so I'm leaning towards intimidation. But
I'm trying to be a little bit more persuasive with this, actually.
okay,
Nice.
that's why I'm letting you pick it. How are you gonna do that?
Yeah, I'd like to be a little bit more persuasive.
Okay.
I love how Edward's completely given up like the Edward facade. He's just gone full Garrett.
Well, I feel that once he's been given his goal was to escape Eberron, and now he's like as far from Eberron as you can get.
Yeah,
Like, he's
so
not even in the same universe.
nobody here knows who Edward is or Garrett, so there's no reason
Yeah.
to hide.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Okay, so that's 8 plus 3. It's only 11.
Okay. He's like, well, it's probably just not, that. He's like, I don't know why I just went back to like Gray Malt's voice. He's like, it's probably not that common of a place, but you can ask around if you'd like. And then he will say something in his very harsh, like snake sound, a bunch of hissing and stuff, and one like female, the one that looks like the most comfortable in the city, you hear just be like, "You fucking idiot!" They're like, "The Plaza's Chain is the largest plaza in the center of the city. You can't miss it. The chain goes all the way through." And then she points in the distance, and like literally smack dab in the middle of the city is one chain that is linking the bottom of the city to the top of the dome of the city. She's like, "It's right fucking there." She's like, she just looks at, she's not calling you an idiot. She's calling the guy an idiot because you're able to interpret that through his he's like, he wants to know about this place. You can infer that he's basically trying to downplay the fact that you're asking for this place that, such a big city. How would anybody know? And it's kind of like going to Chicago and being like, "Where's the Sears Tower?" And they're like, "It's fucking the tallest thing you can see." So, like, yeah, she's like, yes. She looks at you and she's like, "I'm sorry." She's like, "They just got here and they like to pretend they fucking know everything." She goes, "Plaza the Chain, dead center of the city.
Thank you,
You
madam.
literally can't miss it."
I can't thank you enough, ma'am.
Not just to thank you's fine.
Thank you.
But, best of luck. And if you're looking for any, where we're setting up shop in the market square, if you're looking for any, unique oils or foods, maybe a potion or two,
I have
stop
some
by and see
connections
us.
I have some connections with a Tim Tom Tummy Tap. Perhaps I will be by later.
She gets a little disheartened. And she goes, "All right."
Perhaps we can work out some sort of deal where you and he can do a bit of a correspondence. Maybe even do a collaboration of sorts.
I think they want their own product, not Tim Tom Tummy Taps.
She's like, "Well, he's been our number one competitor as long as we've had snake oil breweries." So, it's a little sad. Maybe you should try our stuff. You might like it.
Perhaps
not
you
the
can
only-
convince me to switch.
That one perks her up a little bit. She's like,
Could we get a
He's not-
sample?
"No.
Oh.
But since you're so willing to try a new product," she goes, "I'll tell you what. I'll give you 1 gold. All 3 of you get to. I'll give you a drink."
Ping!
You have a deal. And I toss her...
Oh, I already did. I, flipped her a coin.
Oh, okay.
All right. Ben, roll me a D4.
Three.
Okay. David, are you drinking what they gave you or no?
Nope.
Okay. So,
I'll take his.
I hand it to him.
all right. Garrett, roll me a D4.
2.
Nice. All right. They give it to you, and she's like, beers have, our liquors have a light kick and a magical property. And these are just for effect. But we do have some more powerful drinks, much like Tommy Tap's line. So, Ticto, you drink it, and as soon as you do it, like, everybody looks at you like you feel like this buzzing, like electrical current through your whole body, and like your hair is all like wild, like it's like all your long beard and your like mustache and your hair is like just straight out, like little electrical currents like shooting through it. You got like lightning running through your hair and your whole body tingles.
Oh,
Yeah, she's
that's
like,
some good shit.
she's like, yeah, that's called shock top. See what I did there?
You made the one Hebrew wheat beer.
She's like, that doesn't do anything. It just looks cool. Edward, you drink yours, and after you drink yours, you feel like everything's smaller. As like the Wanti that you were eye to eye to are now like suddenly like nipple height to you, and you're like you feel it. She's like, that's called a bigum beer. She's like, you are now considered a large creature for the next hour.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. It's called bigum beer, is what it's called. Yep. And you got one more that Fodor, you're not drinking it?
Nope.
Okay. Are you keeping it?
I drank it.
I handed it to Dicto. I'm scared of the one he
you drank
drinks.
it? Well, you drank it?
Yeah, I did.
All right. Well, that was another 3. So now now you're just like, you had another snack cap. So you're just like, you're looking like now you look like somebody who just drank a full coffee cup full of espresso. You're like, you're like eyes are like the lightning is like crackling all over your body. You just feel literally energized, but not. It doesn't do anything else. It just, so.
Interesting.
They're like, look us up in the Snake Oil Brewery. We're hoping to set up in the Market Square. We're hoping to be in every major city in the next 10 years.
Well,
Alright.
then,
So,
Well, I'd say we're
be
gonna
on our way.
what?
We'll be on our
Well,
way.
then we'll be on our way. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Edward,
Yeah.
can we get a bit of a? You
Edward
seem
the
to have
Huge.
gotten some additional length in your step. Could we get a boost?
Sure. Why not?
Come on.
And so, what I want to do is, since they're both like gnomes and I'm now like a large creature, I kind of want to do that thing.
Remember, there's Bird Nation.
Oh yeah.
I think you
So-
can carry a turkey too.
Word.
If he's like
So what I
9
wanna-
feet tall now.
Now, what I want to do is I kind of want to like do that thing, like the dad thing. You know what I'm talking about? Where like you've got like one kid on your shoulders, sort of thing, and then like you've got like the other kid who's like you're holding their hand, but like I want him to be on the bird while I'm like holding his hand, like, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of like leading him around on the bird while like Ticto is on my shoulders.
Nice. Yeah. So, Ticto, you are literally like just electric right now. Like you're just like,
my God.
and you are annoying. Like you're sitting there.
This is like the best
everywhere
thing
you're
ever.
Yeah, you're like, hey, what's that over there? Hey, you see that over there? There's people. There's floating people, and they're talking. There's squares coming out of their mouth. Can you believe it? There's squares coming out of their mouth. I don't know how far this thing is going to be. I didn't think it would be this close. Like it should be. It should. And you're just like 100 miles an hour. Every random thought you have is just running out of your mouth, and you're just buzzing that shit directly into Edward's ear. Like, every thought you get in there. Fodor, you're just kind of like, you're trying to deal with the fact like there was one team.
There's so many one team.
Yeah. But it's also like a little part of you is like, but they're not the same one team, but they're one team. Like, yeah, and a little tiny part of you is upset that you didn't drink a lightning beer, but like, also the other part of you is like, glad I didn't drink one, because you would convince yourself that it might also be a poisoned lightning beer.
It's true. Just mine would be poisoned if I drink it. It's okay for
just
him to drink
yours.
it, but I'll die if I drink
Is
it.
specifically tailored to Fodor.
Yes.
That is
All
the
kinds
thought
of
process.
unreasonable fears going
That
on
is
with
the
the
thought
Wanti.
process that you carried out to make yourself okay with the fact that you're not now like covered with crackling lightning from the super cool lightning beer. You're like, that's fine because mine would have specifically been food or poisoned. So,
Shocked my dick. Upset about it.
Or
yeah,
die.
No,
Perception
Fodor.
check.
Let's get you some
I'm like,
Queen.
So,
Wha-
perception check from
what-
everyone.
what's theory,
You-
Queen? Wow, I'm actually not.
Got
rolling
nat
terribly
1,
today.
which makes sense for what the
Oh.
situation we're in right now.
Oh no.
Okay.
21. 18 on
Okay.
the dice.
You. Oh wow, 2 natural.
Dang.
Yeah,
Okay.
28.
You okay?
Ridiculous.
Now you're like super jazzed because like for the first time ever, you're like able to see over the top of everybody, and you're like, this is awesome. Like
Yeah.
you're now able to see. Like you're able to see, even with Ticto's annoying buzzing ass next to you, being like, blah, 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 blah. You're like, able to see that the city is like it's the weirdest city. Like one part of it, like one street looks like it's directly pulled out of Sharn. The other one is like the like clay cobbled streets. That the like clay hut and cobbled streets is another one. There's another one that looks like the stories you've read about of like the marbled like buildings and like the high architecture, and it like all just kind of like sent these like wedge shaped city like things, just like they point towards a center location, and you swear in the distance you can see a gigantic figure like gliding through the street. But it's like way off in the distance, and you're not certain. But the cooler thing is, as you see, is like buildings are like it's like the city is alive. Like you're able to look around and see. And Fodor, you notice this from the ground, that you notice that the buildings are constantly being worked on, like taken apart, put back together. But these weird, like 6.5 foot tall, very thin humanoids that when they talk, when they look at each other and say words, like instead of words, like shapes come out of the mouth. You see like a comb and like a cone and like a square and like a shopping cart, a carrot, an avocado, like all these, like it's like they're talking in memes, they're talking in gifs. This is like the weirdest thing ever. But like they're taking apart, they're putting back together, they're repairing. Like you see people, the use of the mending spell at a level so high, you've never like they're like touch the building and it just like puts itself back together. Like it's constant. And everybody's just moving on like this is normal. But it's very easy to see why that person was like laughing. Why would you ask about the Plaza of the Chain? Because now that you see it, you cannot unsee it. But this is a fascinating city to you. And Edward, since you're almost at a 30, you catch maybe 3 or 4 times while you're looking around exactly what Rumble Bobskin meant when he said portals are everywhere. Because you do see, like, 3 or 4 times you'll see, like, a doorway flash and a person, like, step through. And through the doorway, you see a place that's definitely not the inside of what that building should be. And you notice it's like doors that'll open up several times will be the inside of a shop, but then real quick be like a whole different building and then back to the inside of the shop. And you're like, I get it. But in addition to why you also notice that the shape of the city, it doesn't seem like there's any roads coming in or out. And you suspect that might be the only way you get here. That's a lot to give you for a 28 perception check, but I think that's pretty good. Fodor, you notice the same thing? You notice that the flash and like the different world behind the door a couple times? Because you also got a natural 20, right?
I got an 18 on the dice, but 21 total.
Okay, so yeah, you notice the flash of the doors. You're not as tall, as high up to see the other stuff, but you do notice a lot of the stuff. But particularly, you're fascinated by the fact that these shape-talking, floating things, like you're like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. But you also notice how like nobody messes with them. Like they kind of like give a birth to them, and they don't interfere with them in any way. After like maybe 45 minutes of walking and just taking in the cityscape, Ticto, you start to come down, and you are exhausted now. I mean, like after you drank that, you're like holding hard onto Edward's like this, like his hat or like right up here, and you start like nodding off. At the same time as Edward, you start to like notice the world's getting a little bit bigger. And suddenly Ticto is a little bit too heavy for you to carry. And you put him down, and he's like, and you come to an opening of the most massive central area you've ever seen. I mean, you'd have to guess it's like 3 miles across, like, and in the dead center of a city. It's humongous. And you are now firmly within the plaza of the chain, the very center of Sigil. And this chain is immense. Like, if you didn't know it was a chain, if somebody hadn't been, hey, that's a chain, you would have had no idea. Because what it is it's 2 metal spires, 2 metal cylinders that go up and like maybe 500 feet before they close up, and another link takes it up. And they're so massive, the scale of what you're looking at, that you struggle to see. Like you had to have been told it was a chain.
Mm-hmm.
But now you see it. Now you can be like, that's definitely a chain. But it's just, you've never imagined something this massive. And nestled in between it, between the spires, is this large structure that it has no markings on it. It's just a very severe pointed structure. No one is coming in or out of it, but it's nestled in the dead center of the city. And let me get an intelligence check from Edward.
All right. Camera. That's a 12.
Okay. You think somebody important must live there.
Okay.
But Ticto, you are now, you have run so fast, and so like you've been juiced so heavily that you're almost incapable of standing up. And you take a note to yourself that you're like, maybe don't drink 2 of them.
Okay. I don't think I'll do 2 of those again. That the buzz is great, but the come down, whew,
Yeah.
I'm not having fun right now.
when I look at the spires, do they look in any way? I mean, obviously, I don't know what they looked like before, but do they look like they've been suffering any?
You're
kind
still
of,
you're still way away.
okay.
Do you want to head towards them?
Yes, please.
Okay. Ticto, you are not really capable of walking any further. So you're gonna sit. So you'll sit out for this one.
I don't think I can go any further right now.
Yeah. All right. But you are able to go. You were able, but it's. Ticto, you sit down and start looking around from where you're at, but you're exhausted. Fodor, where are you? Are you?
I was astride Edward most of this time. Just kind of
where are
like
you
gawking.
right now, as we got into the central area where they entered into this giant plaza and then just stopped. Ticto sits down.
Probably
He can't
near
go
the
further.
entrance, just in awe of all of the weird stuff going on around me.
Okay, are you going to stay with Ticto or are you going to go with Edward?
Fodor, I think it would be best if you stayed with Ticto. He doesn't seem in any kind of state to possibly protect him if the need should arise.
Right.
All right.
I will do that then.
Edward, you had it takes you the better part of 20 minutes, to get in and out, and you're still like trying to be as inconspicuous as before because you've got a lifetime of like moving and then trying not to be seen, like you're trying, and then like so you take a lot longer than it would have been there, and then as you get there, you're like, oh, that's right. Nobody gives a shit here. So you just like boldly walk up to it. And it's like, you get there and you're surrounded and there's people all over the place. Like coming to look at this thing is like a super common occurrence. Like people have been coming there forever. I mean, you see like some people have like scratched like, or like drawn on it. Like, Tim was here. Like,
He would be.
Just standard graffiti and stuff like that. And like, but you look at the chain, and let me get. Do you have any? I don't know. I would guess this would be an investigation check.
Okay. I have no bonuses to that, but yeah, okay, investigation. Dash camera. Oh, come on, that third 20. Nope. All right, 12.
Okay. So, yeah, you look around and from what you could tell, it looks fine. I mean, it looks old. It looks crazy old. And even with your, like, not casting any spells or anything like that, you could feel, like, the hum of energy through it. Do you touch it?
Good question. No. I think I'm going to. Well, first off,
I know who would.
I'm going to actually.
Oh, give me a perception check as well.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I meant to ask investigation and a perception because you're going to be paying attention to the people and investigating the chain.
Okay, I was just about to say. Oh shit! All right. So that's way better. That's 27.
Okay. You notice the people that do this, like when they write, or when they like people are writing on it and people are doing stuff. But you notice when they do it, they hold their implements really weird. Like nobody's leaning in and touching. They're all like.
Okay, so
Like,
they're being
the
very
implement will
careful
touch it.
not to touch it.
No, but you're notice, like, and you're like super proud that you notice, like you're honest, but nobody's skin touches. But then when they take the implement that they wrote on it, they put it directly back down on the ground. Like they'll pick it up from the ground and they'll be like, and they'll leave it.
Okay. I'm actually going to take my quarterstaff and I'm going to... Actually, better idea. I'm going to go over to someone who did use a writing utensil, like that they had put against it, and I'm going to look at it very carefully. Does it look like the writing utensil has suffered any kind of like damage?
No.
Okay.
It's fine.
Can I pick it up?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Does it feel strange to me?
It does not.
Okay.
What's your No, it doesn't feel weird.
Okay. I'm going to... I'm going to take the thing and I'm going to like kind of press it. I'm not going to like actually write anything on it, but I'm just going to press it against the like spire sort of thing. Very careful not to let my, like anything.
The one you picked up from the ground?
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nothing happens.
Okay. Do I feel any kind of like hum or anything coming from the spire? Okay.
It leaves a little mark right where you touched it.
Okay. I'll take it off and I'll put it right back down where it was.
Okay.
Then I'll kind of like walk around a little bit, observe some of the other people. And if nothing looks out of place, I'm going to start heading back to my friends.
Okay. Yeah. You go
we're your
you
friends.
go back. Yeah, you watch. Everybody's very, very particular. You did, because of your high perception check and your the investigation being not as great. The chain looks fine, but you were more interested in the behavior because that whole thing was weird. Of you're like, and you're puzzled about that a little bit, but you're like, okay, it must be a thing. Like it just must be how they do things, or there must be a reason to it as to why they're only using it. But you head back.
Can I see one of them doing it right now?
Oh, you see tons of people do it. Like, this chain is enormous. It's probably like maybe 100 feet in diameter. Like, there's a ring of people around there. This is obviously like one of the best attractions in the city. Like,
can I get either an insight check on one of them, or can I do like a perception check?
You don't need any of that. You don't need any of it. It's just that's what this is, just to write. You're able to figure out that's how they interact with the chain. Everybody that's written anything about where they're here, their initials, or anything they put up is done with those implements put down. You do not see anybody pull anything out of their pocket that is not. Everything that's written on there comes from the things that are on the ground.
And this is just kind of like a ritual they have, sort of thing.
Not so much a ritual. It's just like understood. Like, if you're going to write on it, you use that.
Okay. What about those things that speak in shapes? Do I see any of them around?
Not right now. Not right now. You don't. I mean, there's some, like, you saw a ton of them, but like not in the plaza. But you at this time you get back to Ticto and Fodor, and Ticto's like he's dead. He's tired. He's sleeping. Fodor, what are you doing?
Just hanging out, making sure he doesn't get murked.
Okay. But you decide it's probably time to go to bed. Like, it's probably, you got to do something with Ticto right now because he's not doing well.
Edward! What do we do with him?
Well, Fodor, I'd say
Like, do we just sleep on the benches, or how does this weird place work?
we don't need to sleep on the benches, my friend. We can simply use, and I'll hold up the knob, and I'll be like, we can simply go now. It seems like the chain is fine.
Right. Well, I guess I'll pick him up. I'm gonna like attempt to fireman carry this absolutely exhausted Tic-Toe up out
I
of
would
here.
like a perception check from Fodor.
All right. My modifiers are. I got a 6 on the dice, so it's not gonna be great. 9.
No, you're at advantage on this one.
Am I?
Yes. And I'll
Porky
explain to
Dorothy.
you. I'll explain to you why you're at advantage on this one.
Because of the 1T.
It's
Because
a
of what?
1T!
Well, that turned it suddenly into an 18. I got a 15 on the dice this
Okay.
time.
You're turning and you pick him up and you're looking around, like keep an eye, and you hear, "Oh! Little man carrying the other little man." And you turn, and it's like a ray of sunshine just shines down on this man he's got this thick beard, and he's standing outside of a brightly like crimson building. It's like an ostentatious building with like black and gold lettering, and it says Salazar's Sandwiches and Lodgings. And he's like, "Are you looking for some food? And maybe a place for your friend to sleep?" And he's got a window filled with just trays and trays of different types of sandwiches.
Do want a sandwich.
Edward, can I get a sandwich? I need it.
So wanty.
Fodor, you can get 2 sandwiches on me if you promise not to interact with any doorway. The last thing I need is to have you wander off and then end up in the abyss.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
So
I
he
won't
comes
do that
in.
then.
You come in, and he welcomes you. He's like, "Come in. Salazar's Sandwiches and Lodging. You look like you could need it."
Do need sandwiches.
I do not
Yeah.
go through any doorway.
He looks at you and he's like, "First time in the city, huh?" And that's directed to you, Garrett.
Yes, it is my first time to this city of doors.
He's like, "Right. Explain. Archways are fine. You need how to explain it? It's like a key to a door. Like you need your own key to get in the door. Like it's not. You're afraid of portal, right?
Are you telling me that there are different conditions for actually opening
Yeah,
up?
it's not every door. Like if I can go to a door that I have a portal key to that'll take me to wherever I want. Should I want it to? Like random portals are pretty much they don't happen that often. Yeah, but you're safe. Don't worry about it. You're safe. He's like,
I continue to stand more or less outside of the archway, kind of like holding Tic-Toe sort of thing, as I
Okay.
Watch Fodor go in.
yeah, he just walks in. No, absolutely no problem. All right.
Well then, my friend, get your.
I'm happy to
sandwiches.
be in the Sandwich Emporium.
Yes. And this is where we're going to stop for the night because unfortunately I have to work. So. We're gonna pick it up at Salazar Sandwiches and Lodging. Are you guys going to get a room for the night or no?
I guess Ticto's knocked the fuck out, so it's
Yeah,
up to the other
Ticto-
two.
I mean, I can drag him to a door, so above table,
Yeah,
I'm really indifferent.
Okay. So, no, you're just gonna stop and eat for the time.
Hold on.
I mean, if we all go through, we still have the portal key, our portal key.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the problem being that this portal key that we have only works from Sigil to, like, so if we end up in some other place,
Sigil to
you
Bob's
know,
and back again. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. We can't get back. So, like, my character is really unnaturally kind of like, no, not unnaturally, but like he's really hesitant
No, as you should
to
be.
trust people.
Well, as you should be. You spent your whole life getting in there, and
Yeah.
the fact that you're in a city now that is everybody who's like legitimately like, yeah, magic doors, yeah, whatever. Like, come on in and get a sandwich. You're like, but magic doors, like, oh, magic fucking doors, like, shut up. It's like being afraid when you go to the city and you're like, well, what about getting mugged on the subway? They're like, you're not gonna get mugged on the subway, but you might get mugged on the subway. I don't know, just get on the subway. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like. It's one of the things like raised in the city.
60% of the time, you don't get mugged 100% of the time.
Yeah. So that's
think
what
that
he's
Edward. I think that Edward would try not to stay. He would basically be
Okay.
like, "Hey, Fodor, we have like get your sandwiches to go. We we got shit to do."
Okay,
Okay.
well then we're gonna pick up at we'll pick up this next time as you eating a sandwich and discussing your next course of action.
All right.
Okay.
See you
All
guys
right, I
next
could have
time.
played for another hour, but unfortunately, life and work. So I think, and I look forward to next week.